Hey guys, how's it going? This is William Mars for the Sim Racing Paddock, and we are taking a look at Forza Motorsport 7 again. So, I initially did a test drive with my Fanatec Club Sport Wheel V2.5 and the Husingfeld Engineering Sim Pedals Pro, and I felt incredibly disappointed by the force feedback. And then, since then, Sean Cole of the Sim Pit, he actually did a test drive, and he had a bit of a warmer opinion than I expected. And I got to thinking, what was the difference? And one of the main differences was he was using the Thrustmaster TSXW racing wheel, which I'm going to be getting in about a week or so. But I do have my T500RS. It's a few years old, getting a little long in the tooth, but it is Thrustmaster. So I'm wondering, could it run a little better? So let's take a look. And hello, Shane and Mick Gaming 25. Hope you're having a great day. And Shane Lake, our Factor 2 advice. Yeah, you're welcome. Glad I could help. So I'm going to just test out some different cars and tracks with this. I have the T500RS set right now, I believe, to 1080. Yeah. So I have this set to full lock, 1080 degrees of rotation. So we can get an idea and see how it'll perform. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, it is a little cutting off the chat. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. That's a weird issue I've been noticing while streaming Forza 7. Yeah, Mick Gaming, I just fixed it. And it's taking a little while to load this time around. Of course, it decides to have an issue on me. I'm just going to try restarting it real quick. Hello, Crocus. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you're having a great day or evening wherever you are. So let's reboot up Forza 7. This is the first time I've ever had an issue with that. So I wonder if it's because of the me also using Xbox. I'm not sure. I think my Xbox is off, though. Okay, that's full screen now. And it from Lithuania, all right. A bit of a distance from where I live. Okay, drive tar reward available. Okay, we're good, guys. So, I haven't done much testing with the Fanatec wheel yet. That's what this live stream's for. But an interesting thing I wanted to note. After the initial live stream I did, I think last night of this, I decided to also boot it up in my Xbox One that I have in my living room. And I actually found something kind of shocking. Actually, not really shocking, but surprising in a good way. Your save games transfer from Xbox to PC. So if you remember this R32 that I built in my last stream, it actually carried over to my Xbox version. So the save games transfer over, so it's pretty awesome to see. Hello, memories created from Norway. Nice to have you in the stream. But yeah, so the save games transfer over, which is pretty awesome. So you can continue your career from PC to Xbox. And Anthony Scott, hello, fellow Californian. Great to see you in here. What part of California are you from, if you don't mind my asking? So let's do free play. I want to test the IndyCar, because IndyCar just felt totally dead in the Fanatec. So I want to see. Not as bad in the stream yesterday. Must get used after AC. So you're vouching for positive force feedback. So let's take a look. I tested. Oh, wow. You're in Napa. Wow. You're about 20 minutes away from me, Anthony. That's funny. So, yeah. A local guy to me. All right. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm in Sonoma County. So about 10 minutes from Sonoma. I wanted to go to Chevrolet for the IndyCar. So I'm just going to do the Penske IndyCar. Yeah. So let's select, I want to select Sonoma because that's what I tested with or wait, hit a wrong button. Still getting used to controls and everything. But that's what I tested with the in the stream yesterday. So Colonel J.O.-san, this game is where the IndyCar felt dead. So I tested the IndyCar with the Fanatec Club Sport wheel, and it just felt dead. It felt weird. So I'm testing now with Thrustmaster to see if it's any better. Yeah, Anthony's home track for the win. Also, I got to see IndyCar here at Sonoma a couple weeks ago. And I tested out Forza here with a Logitech G920. And I was impressed by the force feedback. So I don't know why Fanatics was just meh for me. So let's see if this feels any better. So just 2-lap quick race. Still, I love the graphics on this. It looks good. Wow. Okay. From that start, I felt road texture. Something that was just totally missing in the Fanatec. That's insane. I could just tell right off the bat in like the first 20 feet. Still not perfect. Not perfect by any means. It doesn't feel nearly as lively as any other Sims IndyCar. But I'm at least feeling something. That's too much steering. Hey, they have rewinding in here, so why not use it? The steering ratio feels a little off. Not perfect, but not horrible at the same time. So, someone else, he was mentioning he was using the T300, and he was saying similar things, so... Yeah, missing a lot of feeling in the center still, but it's at least better, which is what I'm asking for. And I believe I am running... Whoa! Yeah, still, I had no indication that the car was coming around like that. I'm not sure if that was just me on the curb or... Project Cars 2 IndyCar model is taxing. What do you mean by that? I don't know really what you mean by taxing. I think the IndyCar model in Project Cars 2 is pretty good, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm just sort of, I think, overcooking it in the corner. But it just feels way too slow there. T500RS is... Or the T300RS is essentially the same as the TX. T500RS base is slightly larger. It uses, I believe it's a brushed motor versus the TX using a brushless, but the T500RS is slightly more powerful. I haven't mentioned it, but yeah, like essentially the T500RS is slightly older but slightly more powerful. So performance in terms of strength would likely be more on par for the TS series, so like the TSPC, the TX, maybe the TGT. The other wheels are smoother. This is belt drive, but you do feel kind of notchy. Yeah, damper and loading issues. Okay. But yeah, this okay. Yeah, this felt a little better than the Fanatec, so I'm kind of pleasantly surprised. So 2 a.m. from the coast of Maine. Yeah, Shane, I have family in Kittery, Maine. I don't know if that's anywhere near you. So let's try a car now. I mean, we did just do an IndyCar. I mean, let's try maybe like a GT closed wheel car. What do I think's better, Forza 7 or Project Cars 2? I'd say if you're going with a wheel, Project Cars 2, hands down. Force feedback and physics just feel numb right now with the way this is set up. Not really getting much into term of communication between the wheel and the with the title. It just doesn't feel good, in my opinion. Okay, Kittery's a couple hours south. Yeah, I don't know geography in Maine. But yeah, so yeah, if you're driving with a wheel right now, I cannot really vouch for Forza. They are totally different games though. I love the souping up the cars. I love the modifications you can make. I love the fact that you can actually like add body parts, you can modify the engine, and that Forza does best. They do it better than Gran Turismo, in my opinion, even. But in terms of the driving and everything and the force feedback, it's lackluster. I can't sugarcoat it. But yeah, Project Cars 2 also, it does have the true dynamic day to night transition in weather. From what I've tested so far in Forza 7, they advertise it dynamic weather, but it's not really. It is kind of scripted. So from what I've seen so far in rain events, it's going to start off dry, then rain, and then dry up. So even if you do a 2-lap race, you're going to go through that same rhythm. It's just synced to the race length. It's not you actually map out the slots for the rain or anything. So let's see how this goes. It feels good off the track, but you're not wanting to spend time off the track in Forza. And I locked up the brakes there, and no persistent weather. I had one race in, it was like the career mode that was persistent weather, but from what I could tell, I didn't see anything really promising about persistent weather. I'll check the settings after this, but yeah, I'm a little wary. And I know it was like Forza 6 was only persistent weather. If Forza 7's no persistent weather, that's also frustrating. Like, the weather did feel scripted. That's the concern. And also, there is no real dynamic time of day. It's also where, like, you set it to day or night, dependent on the track that you're driving at. And it's a lot of tracks also do not have rain or night racing. So I just feel that whoa, I'm sorry. What the heck just happened to my stream? Hold on a sec. It's still looking okay for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. For some reason, my OBS just went haywire, but it looks good for you, so I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm just keeping an eye out on the stream as well to make sure it looks pleasant for you guys. But yeah, Forza, it just seems kind of limited in track features, where like Project Cars 2, it has the full like roster dynamic, even snow, which snow in racing games stupid, but at least it's kind of stupid fun. That's what I felt should at least be the rate of progression for racing titles. This, it feels like there's too little innovation from Forza 6, which is essentially what is hurting it more than helping, because realistically, it looks a little better. Yeah, it does. Forza 7 looks better than Forza 6. It runs better on the PC. I mean, like Forza 6 versus Forza 6 Apex, which I'll give it credit for that. It did add multiple device support, which is great. But in terms of features and stuff, I'm not really sure if it is worth $60, as Colonel mentioned. Where one guy, he in the stream yesterday, he called it the Forza is like the Call of Duty of racing games now. They add a little bit of content and they re-release it, essentially. And that's what I feel sort of happened. Because look at even Gran Turismo Sport. They're adding Rallycross. They're making a huge shift actually in the features. Like, they're looking to make it more of online focus, which is going to be either for better or worse. But it just, the question is it really going to pay off? At least they're taking the risk. At least they're changing it up. Forza, they are adding esports. That's good. But it feels like the core game has still stayed the same, when it seems like racing games are starting to evolve. Like, I know a lot of people are going to buy it still because drifting is fun. Car customization is awesome, as I mentioned before. But for the actual racing, I'm not too sure. Wheel and rig. Project Cars 2, clean racing, not bumper cars. That's going to really test it. Oh, Stuff Shark, sorry, I forgot to change the Twitch information. I knew I forgot something. My bad. I meant for it to say Forza 7. So, yeah, I updated the YouTube, but I didn't update Twitch. Sorry about that. I'll change that later. But yeah, I did WRC 7 yesterday. I'm not yesterday. Or, yeah, yesterday. It's now past midnight here. So, yeah, I technically did WRC 7 yesterday. But, yeah, it's interesting, though, because it just feels like Forza 7 could have been a lot more than it ended up being. And I'm hoping maybe there's potential, but I'm not holding my breath. But all in all, like, this car feels okay with a wheel. I'm driving its Cadillac ATS V, basically converted into a race car. So it's not the real like GT race car, but it's like close enough. And then at least like there is the steering wheel like standard cockpit, but then you can also zoom in and it's essentially set to a better field of view for racing and gets rid of the wheel and arms. So that's good. But it's like you really wanted it to be optimized for wheel. And they were marketing it saying, yes, we're improving it for wheels. We're working with Fanatec. We hired a new force feedback guy. And it's like, what? What did the new force feedback guy exactly do? I fail to see it. And it's frustrating because I met a couple guys from Turn 10 and Microsoft. They were nice guys, but nice guys doesn't carry you when it comes to quality of a sim or of a game in itself. So it's like, couldn't you guys have done better? Especially when everyone else is stepping up their game. Like Project Cars 2, pleasant surprise of a pretty darn solid update over Project Cars 1. Sure, the AI is still garbage in Project Cars 2. Still garbage. But at times, I've still found that like the AI in this title is crap as well. Forza AI has had some issues, including first corneritis. So I want to check something, or what was I going to check? A controller to see the options. So yeah, I have it pretty straightforward. Steering linearity, 50% because that's actually what you want. Steering sensitivity is 100, which is pretty solid. Force feedback understeer, I'm going to change that down to 50. Force feedback minimum force 80, that's the exact minimum. Let's turn it up to 90. See how that feels. Wheel damper actually helps a bit for some reason. And center spring actually helps too, which is weird. Almost seems counterintuitive versus Sims. Which is frustrating, but what can you really do? So you almost have to unlearn some stuff that's going on. But yeah, I've had some weird stuff with the AI at times. And then what's cool though is they are supporting League. So if you want to do a League but with crappy force feedback, you have the option. So the thing is, Forza, it isn't really marketed as the wheel sim. It's marketed as a solid gamepad driver's title, and I will say it does that well. Wheel is a big meh. That's the frustrating part. But, I mean, the cars. I love the car variety and everything. And it's just frustrating because I feel like it could have been so much better. I think it could have been leaps and bounds above what it ended up being. So there's also a classic Lotus car. Let's try that out because that's going to be clutch and everything. So I want to say that was Brabham BT24. So I want to say this is like a Formula 3 or Formula 2 car. So not a crazy fast car, but it's almost all mechanical grip. And let's do Maple Valley Raceway because that's finally making its return. It was a very fun track. So let's go to race, see how this goes. And I have my H shifter mapped, I believe. So this should be pretty fun. Oh, F2000. Thanks for the clarification, Colonel. Or Colonel. Well, however you pronounce your name. But yeah, this should be a fun car if it feels good. because other Formula 2000 and other lower down Formula cars feel fun. I'm not too confident for this, though. But let's see. So start race. Cernal. Okay, thank you. Wow. Doesn't feel horrible. I'll say that. Doesn't feel horrible. Does not feel great, though. And boom. Ow. Let's rewind because we can. And, are we going to have to rewind further? Because I can't catch that slide or else I get hit. There we go. But look at the sun. Look at the rays. Whoa. Yeah, this is chaos. As I mentioned, the AI in this isn't great either. Except they do race each other a bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ow. That was me. That was me. That was my mistake. I haven't driven Maple Valley in so long. Whoa! I don't think I would say that was me as much, though. Here we go. I also just realized a problem. We're racing up against Lotus 49, and I think Honda's not really the most accurate spread. But for this, at least I got some feeling out of the car. I don't think I have clutch on, so I'm not worrying about that right now, actually. Yeah, clutch is off. Some weird car behavior, though. But this is, all in all, a fun car. And just look at the effects. You could see the fog rolling in the hill, the sunlight peeking over through the trees. This is what is great in Forza, at least. And we're catching up to other cars. I can have some feeling of oversteer coming through the wheel, which is something I couldn't say about some other cars. Whoa! Holy closing rate. But yeah, I'm just speeding and banging now. We're just goofing off. I can't really take this seriously. I don't know why AI would break there. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this AI, honestly, is not much better than Project Cars 2. I mean, I obviously have not driven Forza with or Forza 6 with a T500RS, but I think there could be some legitimate improvement. Whoop. But it's I gotta say, this force feedback is legitimate garbage compared to other racing titles. Yeah, I'm just saying that. Like, this is a little better than the Fanatec, but man, it's It leaves me with a sore taste in my mouth. That's what it does. I mean, I could catch that slide all right, but it just doesn't feel like there's any excitement through the wheel. And the steering just feels off too for some reason. I'm not saying this is 100% undrivable, but it's just... it has major issues. Here's to hoping for a day one patch, but we'll see what happens. And I'll try putting out my review before October 3rd, so I need to put more time on. But this, I'd say, I call it a gamepad title, not real sim. And it looks like I'm getting some minor issues. I don't know if it's graphics card or what, but that's interesting. I didn't get any stuttering in my last stream, and that went for about 2 hours. So I don't know if this is because of the AI or something. But now we're making some decent moves. Passing the grass. But yeah, if you're looking for a serious racing title, Project Cars 2. For console, at least. I can change it and adjust AI aggression, yeah, but it's still like, it still has issues. Yeah, I don't know what this is set to for default, though. I'll take a look at that in next. Also, I wonder if it could also be because this uses drivatars, and maybe it's because a lot of people don't have this yet, so drivatars aren't trained? I don't know. But I just find it interesting. But yeah, force feedback, definitely one of the issues. Trucking it up while watching. Fun stuff. Because the thing is, I think I see some promise in the physics. But the force feedback just betrays anything. If that makes sense. The cars are kind of lively, all things considered. In a way I think is a little better than Forza 6. But still, like, physics improvements are one thing, but if you have bad force feedback, you don't get the true appreciation of it. I don't know why, but Forza has lost its fun factor since Forza 4. I think I'm inclined to agree on that. Forza 5, while it did feel good, it seemed like it didn't have as much as that pizzazz. Also, I believe Forza 5, they got rid of the auction house, they got rid of some features. So I think the Forza series did not handle the jump to the Xbox One gracefully. And now they've just been trying to play catch up since then. But Yeah, Forza 4, I'd say, is one of the bright spots in the Forza franchise. Kind of funny. I think it's popular opinion that Forza and Gran Turismo went downhill after number 4. But actually, Forza Horizon is still a lot of fun. Last lap. And I believe I'm on simulation physics. I've also heard some people say try normal. Because even though it says simulation, they said normal felt a little better. So I might try that for next race too. I want to give this a fair chance. Ooh, that was close. Hello, Whip Diddy Whip. Thanks for joining the stream again. But yeah, I didn't play the first Forza Horizon because I was already starting to move on. I was doing, I think, exclusive PC at that time, and then switched to Xbox One. Whoa. But Forza Horizon 2 was quite a bit of fun. I've done only a little Forza Horizon 3, but I had a lot of fun so far. And then also Lumos Hardkiller, regular to the stream, they told me, or actually he gave me a free copy of Horizon 3 and the Hot Wheels DLC. So I'm going to give that a try later on. Whoa. And I just blew that. Yeah, AI more of an obstacle to get to first. That is a great way to actually put it. That is a great way to put it. The AI feels more like obstacles. And thanks for the follow, Billy Bright Eyes 3. What are the differences between normal and sim? To be frank, I do not know. Next race, let's go there. And we'll check and see what the differences are. I've had my best time on Forza Horizon. I was racing at my buddies 80% of the time. Yeah. Hello, Uven number 2. What happened to Uven number 1? So now this is Lime Rock Park. Setup. Let's go to assists. Oh, we were doing normal steering there. Okay. So we were doing normal right now. Let's try simulation and see how that feels. So we were actually doing normal first, and now let's go with simulation. See if it feels better, worse, or whatever. And I don't know if Turn 10 actually described any differences, unfortunately. Well, let's give this a go. Wow, that looks gorgeous, though. Yeah, that looks amazing. Just the lighting and everything. I think I have some settings turned down for streaming purposes, but yeah, this looks pretty darn good, to be honest. Whoops. Some more beating and banging. But it's kind of frustrating also to mention is damage. Same as in other Forza titles. Does not feel too sensitive. I mean, good hard hit will really mess up your car. But I mean, these light impacts. Yeah, that just damaged my body and front downforce. That would have likely done a lot more damage. Like, would have likely ripped off a wheel. But that's interesting the AI made that mistake. Let's see if they make it again. Nope. This time the AI makes it through okay. Interesting twist. Yeah, this is definitely not the most realistic simulation. Far. What the? He turned left into me, I think. Thank you, Craig Adams, for this subscription. Yeah, I just got turned into. No awareness around the AI. I don't think adjusting the difficulty would change that either. I mean, I'm just muscling by now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, that was just an insane fishtail. It's like, I'm trying to do what I can, but it's just, it's not as enjoyable for me as other titles. So yeah, in the Project Cars 2 versus Forza 7 face-off, definitely just gonna say Project Cars 2. And thank you, Tweet Chris. Is that your Twitter username as well? Because that would be an excellent Twitter username. But I just love the way that fog is on the hills. This is definitely a beautiful looking title. But I'm gonna reuse a quote that I used in my last stream. This is like Paris Hilton. Fairly decent looking, but not much else going for it. Also, it's uncomfortably loose. I know that last part is horrible, but... Whoa! I just got turned into the tire barrier. Blindlessly pumped for the game, yeah. I was optimistic for this, and this is just concerning. I mean, this wheel-to-wheel contact should have totaled one of our cars, but it's... Debjeet, I'm goofing off here. I'm not taking this seriously. If you watch any of the driving where I actually take myself seriously, you know I'm a competent driver. Like, other people here have watched me drive when I take myself seriously, so just saying. But in this, I mean, AI is checking up on a straightaway. So, you just... Yeah. It's like, really? Okay, now that I have no AI around me, let's just try driving semi-seriously. I never really drive this Lime Rock Park layout, though. And that's just weird fishtailing. Yeah, it's frustrating because these cars, you rely on that mechanical grip, and I just can't feel it through the wheel. It just all of a sudden just shoots out from under me. And it's like, really? Okay, blown fuse. That's interesting to hear. I honestly haven't touched iRacing too much lately. I've really gotten a decent fix from Assetto Corsa and from Project Cars 2 now. R Factor 2, I'm really optimistic for how it's going to turn out, but still pretty unstable right now. But yeah, this force feedback really betrays feeling of mechanical grip, which you need in these historic cars. Forza's physics feel more like a drift sim. Yeah, I could see that. Sorry, I'm just like... So last lap. Tweet Chris46. That is an excellent question and also an unfortunate one, because in Forza, when the weather changes, the tires change magically. And it's where you actually get the tires automatically change to wet. So if you're driving on slick, apparently they magically change to wet. And it's part of that scripted system, and it's BS. I'm flat out, I'm calling that BS. You can't call a title a simulation and have systems like that. So I mentioned, speaking of rain, I wanted to showcase the rain and how that works. So we'll take a look at that. But it's disappointing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So, dang it, it's loading. I accidentally hit loading screen, so we're going to have to go through the loading screen and then we can change it. Has there been a day one patch? I am not sure yet. I know that early pre-orders of the Ultimate Edition, they have access to this now, but I do not know regarding regarding day one patches yet. So setup, race setup. Let's take a look. So track scenario, rain. So we can set it to rain. Good. Is there more information on it? I don't know, but yeah, so we have it set to rain. Good. So let's take a look. Yeah, tweet Chris, I could say that as well. You get the most enjoyment out of gamepad. Okay, note, we have it set to rain. It starts off dry. You saw no setting that can modify it, saying like if you start the rain or start off the race with rain or anything. So this is the dynamic weather at work. So this is a 5-lap race. I'm gonna say the rain will start picking up second half of lap 2, maybe early lap 3. That's how I think it's gonna work. So let's pass this guy for the lead, so we don't have to worry about kamikaze AI. So normal versus sim, it feels like there's more slip a little bit in the simulation mode. I'll say that. But the force feedback betrays it, I think. Yeah, tweet Chris, yeah, that's what I feel. With me doing these live streams, I think, especially with being a source in the media, it's my responsibility to sort of interact with people. where we interact, we share our opinion, because realistically, I'm just a guy like you. I just have a huge passion for sim racing. I want to share. Okay, lap 2. So I actually started first half of lap 2. So now it's raining. And it'll likely go until end of lap 3. But puddles will form up and things like that. Will I play again with Jimmy and James? I am looking forward to that. Maybe later on. I have some other things I need to do. And yeah, that was slippery, as it should be. But look how quickly it all just went downhill. That's almost too fast, I think. So, yeah, it's time scaled. And actually, I should say race scaled. So, we're going into lap 3. And note, I'm handling it decently with these same tires. So, yeah. It just magically handles it all right. But actually, these vintage cars, I think they might be multi-purpose tires. So these might be able to handle rain all right too. But yeah, it just is weird in my mind how this is all working. But yeah, now it's completely drenched track. You see puddles. Not deep puddles, but you see the puddles to the point where you see reflections. And I'm wide again. I should have lost it there, I think. Realistically, I think that should have just lost it. And now it's getting darker. Thanks for the subscription, the greatest. You're the greatest, man. I can hear a helicopter to my left. Kind of cracked me up, though, because I just saw birds flying in this weather. But yeah, now you can see the rain lightening up, as I predicted, I think. So rain's going to lighten up. It's going to dry off in these last lap and a half, I believe. Maybe in the last lap. And I'm wide again. That's just my bad. That's lack of skill right there. I'll own up to it. Yeah, I'm hoping it improves in a patch because I think the physics, they're pretty decent, but the wheel betrays the physics. So yeah, now going to the last lap, stopped raining entirely. So I believe by the time we cross the start finish line, it's going to be close to dry. So just think about that. In one lap, it dries off. With basically minimal cars driving on. And we got the fog. Andrew, I think I do have the AI set low. So maybe if I set it higher, they'll be more competitive. But as one guy mentioned earlier in the stream, Forza is more like just driving around obstacles to get to the lead. And I'll also say, I have an Xbox One S. This looks great in HDR. I'll vouch for that. So, okay, it's not fully dry, but it is pretty dried. It's a good looking game, definitely. But at least I will say this Thrustmaster wheel is performing admirably, given what it is. So need to increase difficulty, we'll look into that. Because 5-second difference. So let's go to quit, change the AI around. I like the graphics, even Project Cars 2 feels like data in comparison with this. Yeah, graphics ain't everything though. R Factor 2 is definitely like not a looker right now, but R Factor 2 is definitely, I think, my de facto go-to sim. So let's go to drive to hard difficulty. Yeah, I have it set to average. Above average, highly skilled, expert, pro, unbeatable. Let's just go to highly skilled, see how the difference is between that, because I'm not too confident. So let's go rent a car. Let's try GT3. So I believe BMW should have a GT3 race car. Or GTE. Yeah, let's go with that. I love the Z4. One of my favorite cars. So I'm going to go to Daytona. And they should have night, I believe. Night, yeah. Night, no rain in Daytona. So it doesn't allow you to have rain in Daytona. Go figure. But it does allow you to do night racing. So let's give that a try. And see if the AI is actually better. So go to race. Project Cars 2 and low and you're happy. I could have set it a multi-class race. But yeah, I love the look. And I think the only thing better than how the Z4 GT race car looks is how it sounds. In real life, it is an incredible sounding car. Yeah, K Roman 47. They are looking to improve the footage, or improve the visuals in R Factor 2. So I'm really hoping it does pay off, and I am hoping it's well optimized, because that's a key. R Factor 2 not well optimized, like the original R Factor, not well optimized. If they can do the proper code optimizations for it, I have faith R Factor 2 could be an incredible title. And another thing is, if you look at some of the code in R Factor 2, some of the code dates back to the 90s. So them improving it is huge. And if under a new studio, they can pare down the code, optimize it for modern systems, I think R Factor 2 could really pull a rabbit out of their hat and surprise us. One other thing I'm frustrated with in in Forza 7 is there's no practice in qualifying. Okay, so I don't know about you. Ow. Whoops. Can I do a race with a mandatory pit stop? I think so. Thank you, Damien. Wow. Holy first corneritis. So this is highly skilled, I think. Yeah, I think we said it's highly skilled. I like the sound of this car, though. Let's hear how the exterior sounds. That backfire does not sound as good as the real-life car, though. This sounds very close to the United Racing Design EGT mod, though. If you remember that for R Factor 2, it's a payware mod where it has some knockoff cars. This sounds incredibly digitized. if you want a great example, I know it's not like actual GT3 or GTE, it's GT3, but in race room, incredible sounds. Interior doesn't sound bad though, I'll give it that. It sounds like what you'd hear from an onboard camera. Sounds like a V8, kind of mated with a V10, so the awkward love child. So, kind of mixed. Level leap. I drive a 2013 Volkswagen GTI Mark 6 Autobahn edition. Great car. I love it. It is only front wheel drive, but it handles great, and it has a nice MagnaFlow aftermarket exhaust too, which it really does bring some life into the car. It gives it a beefier engine note without really sounding ricey, which is great. I can see about upping the sound real quick. Oh, hold on. Whoa, whoa. So let's see real quick. So let's do that. 4.5. Come on. Click that. Yeah, I'm not as fast, I think, as these guys now. Or I'm at least close. The only thing that's frustrating with this camera angle is I don't see any mirrors behind me. But it's interesting. This sounds like a V8. But at high revs, it starts sounding a little V10-ish. I'm not sure if that's just the transmission whine, but listen. Sounds a little like an Audi R8 at high revs. Or an Audi R8 V10, I should say. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because I don't really hear that kind of engine note in onboard cameras. It just seems a little unusual. If that makes sense. Hi, the drone monkey. It's not totally unplayable like some other titles in the world, but it's not my ideal choice for this with a wheel. It has some struggles, big time. Doesn't have good road feel. That's my primary complaint. And also doesn't do a good job of communicating with you about what the rear of the car is doing. I've lost a few cars at times with no warning whatsoever. But yeah, compared to other titles, it's just lackluster in my opinion. I mean, heck, if you drive Project Cars 2 and then this, you feel like you're spoiled. Or you feel like Project Cars 2 spoils you in the terms of force feedback. This, it's just like, But yeah, at high revs, it sounds kind of V10-ish. Like, also like the Lamborghini V10s. And this is a V8 engine. And I don't really have a great example of a onboard camera for this car, but I am pretty certain it doesn't sound like this. And I know it's GT3 versus GTE, but try Race Room's version of the BMW Z4. Sounds amazing. Heck, Assetto Corsa, their Z4 GT3 sounds alright, but there's a sound mod available for it that makes it sound excellent. Whoops. Little bump. And he just turned into me. As mentioned, it doesn't seem like these AI have much in the way of situational awareness. So it seems like the AI just has no problem with running into you, which is irritating. GT3 Corvette. Yeah, I saw that announcement. I'm excited for that because Corvette race cars, especially the C7, they have some good sound. Wait, is this guy pitting on the last lap? Wow. Fourth. Or wait, no, that was 24th place. So that was a lap down car, but still pitting on the final lap, final straightaway. Yeah, the Drone Monkey. This is an excellent gamepad title. I'll put it that way. It's an excellent gamepad title. I enjoy it with a gamepad. However, this with a wheel is lackluster. But I mean, tomorrow I'm gonna go to my living room, fire up my Xbox One S, and play this with the gamepad. And I'm gonna have fun. With this, it's lackluster. That's just the term I'm just gonna say again. Danny X Fuchsia, yes, simple answer. The cars are livelier, feels more realistic. It really does communicate, especially through the force feedback, better than Project Cars 1. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But it does have some considerable improvements. So, let me see how much money we have right now. Because I want to see if we can buy a car and soup it up. We have 89,000 credits. So, let's see. I want to buy a car and soup it up for you guys. So, what I'm actually going to do for this is I'm going to bust out the gamepad. I know some of you guys might frown upon it, but hey, it's my stream. Let's have some fun. Let's goof off a bit. So, firing up the controller. And boom, seamless. Don't even have to leave the game. So, let's find... Do they have an E28? That's a 2000 E36, so that'll be a good. This is. Are you kidding me? 90,000 for a 1997 M3. Jeez, sticking it to the man much? 79,000 for E28. Wow. That just seems pricey, in my opinion. So, let's find a car to soup up. Maybe a Honda. Let's see how much Hondas are to compare. 60,000 for a Civic Type R. That's the new 2016 model. 2014 Civic Si. I almost bought a 2015 four-door. Yeah, tweet. Yeah, I used to be in that same boat as you. I had a, it was the Logitech G25. I put on an $8 tray table that I bought off at Target. Accurate aesthetics, 225,000. Dang. Honda Prelude, that could be a good one. But yeah, so I ended up going for a Fanatec. They called it the Rennsport stand. So I went with that, and it worked pretty darn well. So Honda Civic Type R, that reminds me of Need for Speed days. Or the CRX, man. Tweet Chris. Yeah, I know. My mom, basically, we have 2 garages at my house. So we converted the back garage into basically the man cave studio for my site. Which, that was awesome. Props her for that. Thank you. So it's like, yeah, I don't hog the living room anymore or just stay in my bedroom all day. So, dilemma. Let's go with... thanks, Ryan Coleman, for the subscription. Let's go with the 97 Honda Type R. That should be fun. And then, recommended designs if you wanted. It looks like a lot of them carried over from Forza 6, I believe. But let's go with stock, or maybe not stock color, but yeah, manufacturer colors. Only has 5 colors. Then you can go to normal colors and you have a full palette. Lime green. Oh, that's bright green. But, yeah. And then you have special colors, as they call it. So, yeah, I believe that's, yeah, matte, semi-gloss, metal flake, two-tone, Prismacolor white, Prismacolor black, carbon fiber body, wrap. You have the Spy Shot, also known as mules. So if you wanted to have like the secret car test drive. And then digital camouflage if you want to go Call of Duty. That's pretty funny. You have copper, brass, steel, gold. So if you want a gold Honda Civic or wood finish, that is funny. But let's go. I want to just do, for the heck of it, lime green. So yeah, just goof off. And then with stock parts. Fair enough, Gary. I mean, you can, like, no time like the present to just have fun, get something fun. So let's go to tuning. And I want to see what we can do visually for this. So, aero and appearance. So this is the stock Honda front bumper. It looks like there's a decent selection though. So, looks like we might have a glitch again. In my first stream, we had a glitch where it wouldn't show until you got out and went to the garage. So let me check real quick. So I think we're having that same glitch. And then once that happens, yeah, so now it looks okay, I think. Because that's not, or is that the stock rim, or is that stock? Let's see. So bumper. Looks like it's having that issue again, but yeah, slight bug. Hopefully that's fixed in day 1 patch. So yeah. Let's go to Honda. So yeah, see the bumpers there now. And if we go to tuning and upgrades, should be there now. Yep. And then gives us the option to modify. So yeah, the west bumper, charge speed. This reminds me of what I used to pick in like Need for Speed Underground 2. And then Forza just adds a couple winglets and a tow bar to it. So for the heck of it, let's go with this. It's only 100 credits. If only body mods were that cheap nowadays. And then the wing. That just cracks me up seeing that Forza Motorsport rim or wing on the back. Makes it look like a touring car. Or like one of those old like Group B rally cars. Rear bumper. Interesting there's no fourth option for that, but I think this one looks the best in my opinion. Remember, beauty's subjective. I don't want it too gaudy, but I mean, we're souping it up, guys. we're making a ricer Civic. And then let's get some new rims for this puppy. Do something about the look of those. So yeah, multi-piece design rims. Those pretty ball. But yeah, some nice rims here. I'm partial to Motegi rims myself. That's what I have on my GTI. I have a great set of rims that it's black with a red stripe, and if you guys know the colors for a GTI, it's red trim that's most well known. So it works pretty well. But interesting rims, I gotta say that. Check if they added the Bugatti Chiron. I'll check that in a minute. Those are interesting rims. Let's just do that for the heck of it. And we'll bump up the rim size. This is goofy as heck, guys, but I mean, it looks pretty interesting. So, 18-inch rims. Those look pretty good. Then we can drop the car. And Logan, nice to see you in the stream. Thanks for watching. Let's put some fat rear tires on. Actually, those are already pretty fat, so 235. I don't think we need to go 245. And then suspension. So that's stock. That's race. Now we're talking. Brakes. You actually see the improved brake pad and disc. Ooh, those look nice. Let's put a roll bar in. An actual roll cage. There we go. Do we actually see the weight getting reduced? So that's stock. So it looks like, and I think it was previous titles or it was Need for Speed, you would actually see like the passenger seat getting removed. Unfortunately, it looks like that's not the case here. Let's just put a sick turbo in this. Like single turbo or supercharger. Turbo. Yeah. I know we're dumping quite a bit of money in, but I think it's going to be nice. So we can put in a race exhaust. This is totally not really street legal anymore. Turbo. Woohoo! Souping up. VTEC kick in, yo. I didn't think I saw it in Forza 6. I think the last time I saw that was Forza 4, unfortunately. Air filter. A Class A Civic front-wheel drive. Okay. This thing's going to likely torque steer like no tomorrow. Okay, we need a better clutch to handle all this power now. But gotta admit, that ain't a horrible looking Civic. So we're saving the content. Someone was asking about the Bugatti. So let's take a look. Buy car. So if we go to Bugatti, they only have one Bugatti? They don't even have the Veyron? What? Or is it just one I can't pick out right now? Yeah, I've seen worse in real life. I've definitely seen worse in real life. So let's check. Select car. Rent car. Bugatti. Okay. They have the Veyron Super Sport and the EB110 Super Sport. So they do have the Veyron. They do have the Veyron, guys. I guess you just can't buy the Veyron through that. I guess it's a prize car? But let's try Civic out. I think Suzuka's a fitting track. So yes, there is the Veyron, just not the Chiron. And I'm just going to do this single car. So we're just doing test drive. Perhaps you have to be a higher class for the Veyron or something. Yeah, that would be my guess off the top of my head. So higher tier. But I thought it usually showed all cars for all tiers. So I have no clue if this is going to sound like a racer car. I don't really remember if Forza modeled the, or not modeled, but recorded different sounds for different exhausts. VTEC kick in, yo! Wheel spin in third gear. Okay, that sounds ricey. Digitized rice. Because that doesn't... That sound is incredibly digitized. There's no denying that. And it sounds ricey. Digital rice, guys. And Flappy Arm Dude. You can see that in the background. Jeez, so much wheel spin. Because I think we're on the stock tire compound still. Wow. I wonder what would happen if I can convert this to all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive or something. I bet that could be a lot of fun. Let's try a drift. Nope, too fast. Yeah, Logan, I'm playing on controller at the moment because, as mentioned before, the force feedback isn't the best. So let's do some wheel. Let's see how this feels on the wheel. Opal, I believe tomorrow this releases for people who pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition. For everyone else, it's going to be out October 3rd, I believe. Interior sounds are so much better for this. I don't think I have auto clutch off, so it's not really doing anything if I press the clutch. Yeah. Nothing with the clutch right now because I have it off. Whoa, whoa. Ow. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Weird glitch. Did you see that? Center of the track disappeared. Right when I made the impact, the center of the track disappeared. Now it's okay, but... Huh. Hopefully that gets fixed. Definitely not the first glitch I've found. Rain! So we got rain in this. So we'll get to see how it works with the windshield. But look how quickly it came on. One nice thing though is I think the raindrops on the windshield are more dynamic in Forza 7 than in Project Cars 2. But that's one of the only things that, besides customization, in terms of driving, that Forza beats Project Cars. And it's not really something that's too critical. But look how quickly the rain happens. So, as mentioned before, they market it as dynamic, but it's not really dynamic. That's the problem that I have. It's scripted. So, it's dynamic in the term of it starts dry, then goes wet, then goes, like the rain goes away. But it's not dynamic as in, like, true dynamic. Hopefully I'm making sense there. Driver's right thumb is in the wheel. Oh yeah, I just noticed that. But yeah, I mean, Project Cars 2, at least, for all its flaws, has a great weather system. This, I would have loved more customizability in it. But yeah, next week I'm planning on putting out like my full review on this. I'm hoping maybe October 1st, October 2nd, so stay tuned. I think it'll be a solid, in-depth review. Because that's what I'm going for. Beat, was it where were you driving and what settings were you using? But yeah, all of a sudden, poof, no rain anymore. I mean, that's like the quickest torrential downpour ever. And also, as mentioned, it automatically, magically changes to rain tires when you're doing this. But I'm not planning on pulling any punches for this review. I mean, sure, I was given this title to review. The only titles I wasn't given to review was Project Cars 1 and WRC 7, which I'm going to work on as well. Opal, when I'm not streaming, I notice no stuttering and lag. Because I'm streaming, which puts an additional load on the GPU and some on the CPU as well, I do notice a little stuttering. Oh yeah, driving at Mojave with 3 weather changes. Yeah, if you scale your weather to the race, then yeah, weather can go faster than it should. And yeah, as I was saying, with streaming, it puts an additional load on my system. So yeah, you just saw that stutter most likely. But yeah, the weather just, it doesn't give you any options. It's just, okay, rain, and it goes to its default system. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the ability to customize, right? So hopefully, I don't foresee any options to be able to customize later on. Neuro X, my PC specs are in the description for the video. I'm using the Ryzen 7 1800X processor. It's currently clocked at 3.875 gigahertz. It's water cooled with a Corsair H100i V2 water cooler. I am using a Trident G-Skill DDR4 RAM. It's clocked at 2933 megahertz. And then I also have the EVGA GeForce 1080. And I believe it's the SSC edition. I have it currently at the stock clock, though. I haven't overclocked it at all. Yeah, Tweet Chris. I have to say, objectively speaking, Project Cars 2 is the superior title in terms of the performance while driving, in terms of force feedback, in terms of the physics, in terms of race settings, in terms of day to night, in terms of rain. Project Cars just blows this out of the water. What wheel do you prefer over the cheap non-force feedback Thrustmaster Ferrari? I'm not sure if I truly understand your question. Out of interest, do I have a PS4 Pro? If so, will you be trying out GT Sport? I only currently have a standard PlayStation 4. I do not have a PS4 Pro right now. I am planning on getting Gran Turismo Sport, though. And I'm interested in seeing how that compares. Assetto Corsa 2 needs all the features of Project Cars 2. I'd say the only thing that you don't really need in Project Cars, or in Assetto Corsa 2 that Project Cars 2 has, is the snow. You don't really need snow in a racing title. You're not going to use it too much, realistically. Was Forza ever a sim racing game? I'd say Forza 5. Force feedback in Forza 5 felt relatively close to Assetto Corsa, all things considered. Or maybe early Assetto Corsa, I should say. More recent Assetto Corsa started feeling better, but around the time Forza 5 came out, it felt pretty good, actually. Forza 6 really butchered the force feedback, in my opinion. Forza 7 still has issues. So that's my input on it. So, is Rivals actually open? Yes, it is. Okay. So, let's take a look. And Sebring Rival Challenge. Let's see how this goes. What happens if you use a wheel with no force feedback? I'd say it depends. Most non-force feedback wheels, they are limited degrees of rotation. So my concern would be is if it tried to exponentially increase it or anything. I don't know. I don't have a non-force feedback wheel on me right now. The closest I'd have is a Logitech Driving Force Pro, which I'm planning on doing an experiment with later. So stay tuned to the channel for that. But I don't know, realistically. I mean, there is like the Thrustmaster T80, which is a rubber band wheel. It's non-force feedback. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see how this goes. Whoops. I butchered that start. Oh, wow. He hit the wall already. Yeah, I love the fact that PC is getting more gaming. I mean, you can play this pretty well with a gamepad. I'll say that. And it's not a bad thing. What happens if you use a wheel with only 270 degrees of rotation? I was sort of talking about that, Logan. I'm not sure. So, I don't have a wheel like that at my disposal. If I set this down to 270, it makes the car extremely twitchy. So, I bet you could set the settings to adjust for that and compensate. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I just don't know. Let's see if it gives me an option to get a better lap. Because I butchered that first lap. I beat Gunnar KKW. Still didn't get a good turn there. So yeah, this is like their time trial, I think. Yeah, I'm hoping GTR 3 is a great title. I'm friends with I'm friends with Chris and Alan Speed, who are the heads of like Sector 3 and the new Simbin, I think. Hey, Kindrill. But yeah, so I am optimistic they're going to do pretty well. I heard rumors that that's what the ISI is working on with their new project. I'm not certain, though. Now, if we could get a price of good force feedback wheel to be cheaper. Yeah, I wish that, too. Because right now, the least expensive for a reasonable wheel I could recommend is the Thrustmaster TMX or the Thrustmaster T150. And that's $200 still. Whoa. Attack at Drogos, it is slightly better with Thrustmaster from my experience so far. It's not like night and day difference, but it's slightly better. I'm getting slightly better feel through the wheel, so that's a good thing. But yeah, it's crap pedals for $200, so for a 3 pedal set T3PA Pro, you're looking at $300. add in a shifter, you're looking at 400, 450. Yeah, Kindrill, those are old pictures, and that was like promo for GTR 3 before it became Race Room, actually. So they're using a new rendering engine. They're like moving to Unreal Engine for the racing, and it should be pretty good. But yeah, by the way, speaking of Thrustmaster, I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm actually going to be getting the Thrustmaster TSXW to review. I got confirmation from Thrustmaster that they are sending me that to review, and it will be my first Thrustmaster product new Thrustmaster product that I'm actually going to review. Because if you remember, if you guys follow me way back when I first launched Sim Racing Paddock, on my website, I republished a review of my T500. And it was a review I wrote way back in 2013, but I republished it on my site. Any opinion about wheel for PS4? I'd say it's either T300 or the new Fanatec CSL Elite PS4. I'd go for the Fanatec, in my opinion, because it's, I think, maybe not the most powerful for the PS4, but it's one of the quickest wheels, in my opinion. And also, it's compatible with Club Sport wheel rims. It's compatible with load cell pedals. It's compatible with the Club Sport shifter, Club Sport handbrake. So you have all of those options, and you can actually get it relatively reasonably priced. And I'm saying relatively. It's $4.99 for the base and the PlayStation rim, but I like that PlayStation rim. If it was like 5 years ago, I'd say Logitech is a good option. But now, for the prices, you can get better product. Can you drift with paddle shifters? Yes, you can drift with paddle shifters. I'm not good at drifting, though, myself. Hey, Go Faster, thanks for watching and being part of the stream. But one thing interesting is, with this car, you can see that the tachometer goes counterclockwise, like how it is in real life. That just trips me out, though, because you're so used to tachometer going left when you're going slower, right when you're going faster. This just throws me off. Hello, Anjo. Basically, the simple one sentence TLDR for the comparison. Project Cars 2 wins. No comparison. The driving experience is a lot better. Force feedback's better. Physics are better. The only reason I could say go for Forza 7 over Project Cars 2 is if you want that car customization. And if you want that car culture range. That's what I'd say. Logan M, for the 100 to 300 range, you can possibly get the Thrustmaster TX wheel on sale for under 300 at times. So if you wait for that under sale or on sale, it's a much better wheel than the Thrustmaster TMX. Thrustmaster F1 wheel worth buying? I actually tested the Thrustmaster F1 rim at my friend Philip's house, and I actually enjoyed the heck out of it. It's a lot of fun. Feels good in the hands. It is kind of interesting though, because the paddle shifters work on a rocker. So, for example, you can shift with just one hand. You can use your, for example, if you just wanted to use the right paddle, you pull the paddle to shift up, push it to shift down. Because that's the way a rocker shifter works. Hold on a second. Sorry, Danny X Fuchsia, it flagged your message for some weird reason. Okay, I just wanted to uncensor it because... Oh. Yeah, okay, that's why I got censored. I didn't see the crude language in it. Sorry. Well, yeah, that's kind of goofy. Yeah, Beat, I didn't see that until it was too late. My restream chat's blocking the YouTube chat. Yeah, Kyandrill, I have a video that I've had on the channel. It's will high-end racing will make you a better driver? And the TLDR for that is it can augment good driving, but it won't fix stupid. You need to know the basics of driving and racing, and then you can improve. Like, because a wheel, it will improve your driving, but you need the solid foundation. Better equipment does make you more consistent, though. I'll vouch for that. And it's so frustrating because I'm used to my Club Sport, not my Club Sport, my Husingfeld pedals, which makes me so much more consistent on braking. Right now I'm using the T3PA. And it's like, Logan, yeah, Thrustmaster under 300. It's the Thrustmaster TX with the Ferrari 458 rim. There are options, I think, where you can actually get the TX with, it's like a Ferrari GTE rim. So there's that option. It's a little more pricey, though. But I would highly recommend you make sure you get a decent wheel. Like, I can't really recommend gear drive now anymore. Belt drive is just far superior in my book. So we definitely beat the target time, so we can just finish this out. What do you mean by Anjo Magdeo? What do you mean by, like, expensive wheel? I heard triple screen support is nothing but image stretch. Unfortunately, to be frank, I'm not fully sure. So I'd have to look into that. I'll try posting something in, like, the YouTube, like, later on YouTube, or maybe, in my review or in the Sim Racers group. Actually, no, I can't do it in the Sim Racers group because it's not a true sim, which that's true, actually. Level 3, yeah. So, interesting. So I can either take 30,000 credits, get this off-road truck, or a suit. Let's go with the off-road truck. Yeah, Logan, I'd say invest in, I know there's like it's Alcantara rim, maybe, or leather. Chavad 84, not too well, to be frank. The force feedback is very, very lackluster, and it's painful at times, to be frank. It doesn't really communicate well. The quad, I would say it's almost closer to arcade. It's disappointing, to be frank. And it's like, not really too much you can do. Autocross. Huh. Let's try this out. So, you can do autocross. That's nice. Most expensive, actually, I wouldn't say 1,300. I would say about 3,800. Like, yeah, the Leo Bodnar sim steering is insanely expensive. Where it's about $3,000 to get. So, yeah, that gets expensive. Hey, Sim Racing Tracker, how's it going, man? So I think I have time for a little more. It's already... Wait. It's 1:30 a.m. here. Dang. I didn't realize it was that late. So, yeah, force feedback is still lackluster. Slight improvement over the Fanatec. So, I don't know if it was something I'd set up wrong with my Fanatec or what, but this is marginally better. Still bad, though. So let's see how this goes. Slightly annoying how this is just in the way, so I might have to just switch to the other cockpit view, or here. Okay, this is better. Oh, did I hit that? Yes, I did. Dang it. Whoops. Yeah, this game is developed for pads, but it's frustrating because their marketing said they were hiring a new guy to improve the wheels stuff. And it's like, okay, well, what happened? Slightly frustrating. This is okay at 900, don't get me wrong. So it's not the degrees of rotation thing. It's more just lack of responsiveness in the force feedback. It feels like it's like not really communicating what the rear end is doing. So the rear end will just step out all of a sudden. It's like before you even realize what happened. But this is actually pretty fun, the autocross here. You have to actually go between the cones. Gives some sort of variety at least. Sorry, I'm missing out on some of the messages. Wow, I beat it by 3 minutes. Alright, I think I have time for one more race, and then I think I'm going to call it a night. But let's make it a long race, I think. I'm going to do a long race with rain, and let's see what happens. Because I want to give you your time's worth. So, hello, Dr. 1985. He caught the stream. And hey, Todd McDanger, cool to see you in here. So let's go to free play. I'm not going to do the actual Nordschleife. I'll do the Nurburgring GP course. So let's go to Nurburgring. GP circuit. Thank you, Sadadsa. So we'll do that. And we'll do full field. Let's do 18 laps to see what happens. And select car. Hello, Leo Juan. Nice to see you in here. So, GTR Black Edition, Forza Edition. Let's go with that. And then race setup, Sport GT. Okay, that's good. So, 18 lap race with the rain at the Nurburgring GP circuit. I'll do WRC later on, Sim Racing Tracker. I'm going to try that out tomorrow, I think. And we'll see how that goes. I definitely did have a lot of fun driving WRC 7. I'll say that. But yeah, 18 lap race around Nürburgring. Do you have to lower your degree of rotation to be able to drive F1 cars? I haven't tested F1, but I did test IndyCar, and I didn't. I didn't have to adjust the degrees of rotation for IndyCar. I haven't tested F1 yet. So this will be a great example of how the rain works, I guess. And we'll see if it truly is time scaled, I guess. But man, I wish it would have... I wish it would have been like more dynamic. So we're starting in second place. Okay, so this is going to be not really racing the AI, I guess. As I overcook into the first corner and butcher it. My bad. So it's detecting this as a road car, even though it's the special, like, Forza Motorsport edition. Because I would have loved to have this be the Nissan GTR GT3 car. But see how that Ferrari just paid no regard to me. Somewhat irritating. So, yeah, I'm calling that karma. Hit me, so I rewind and hit him. So, Corsa is on Xbox One, but it does have performance issues last time I checked. I'll have to test it out sometime, though. I don't own any console copy of Assetto Corsa. But yeah, I think I have this set to highly skilled difficulty. And this just feels more like driving with moving chicanes. Yeah, I ran wide there. Got a little distracted by the chat. Assetto Corsa on Xbox One is decent. Okay, I might test out that version because the Club Sport Wheel V2.5 works with Xbox One. So, I guess I locked it up. Neuro X, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. Another reason is, admittedly, the processors in this generation of consoles are underpowered, in my opinion. Because you're running with, it's an 8-core processor, but they're running at like 1.7 gigahertz. And then the Pro and Scorpio, they're running at like 2.3 gigahertz. So they're not really high performing processors. They're based on like weird architecture. Like it's an AMD Jaguar, which essentially is a modified mobile phone chip. So it's weird architecture, so it makes it more difficult for developers to optimize, I think. Assetto Corsa on Xbox One is definitely not the same as on PC. So here's an interesting thought I just want to bring up to you guys. So right now we're on lap 2. And what's interesting is if we were doing like a 3-lap race, it would already be pouring right now. So I think it is time-scaled difficulty. Or not time-scaled difficulty, time-scaled weather. So my theory is maybe by the time we get to lap 6 or so, I think that's when the rain's going to kick in. That's my theory. We'll see if that's correct or not. I don't know, though. I could be off. Decent wheel for Xbox One, but one can switch to PC if you get serious. CSL Elite definitely is what I would recommend. The CSL Elite with the P1 or the P1 Elite rim. I want to say the P1 Elite rim is about 170, but it's a solid option if you're looking for that. The only downside is the Xbox One version is not compatible with all 3 platforms, but it is compatible with the Xbox and PC. And it is a pretty darn good wheel. Leo Juan, one reason I've been doing these streams late, A, is because I torched my sleep pattern lately, and B, because it also helps reach to some of the Europeans. So some of the Europeans just wake up, they see, oh yeah, stream's going on, and I can reach out to them. But I'm planning on doing more like midday US streams, because that would also be late night for Europe. People are getting off work, maybe out of school. So, yeah, I might shift to more normal West Coast hours soon. But, I mean, this is pretty fun, gotta admit. Interacting with a wide spread of people. You've reached Europe. Thanks for that. Okay. Sounds good. It's also just trying to bring more exposure to the channel. So, for example, when we started the stream, I think I was at 6,469 subscribers. And now we're at 6,481. So, we've got some more people coming on. Yeah, late afternoon would work well, and I'm just trying to reach out to people. bring out the sim racing paddock name. My goal I want to do is hit 10,000 subscribers by January 1st. I know that's quite ambitious with me only at about 6,500 subs, but if you consider in January I was at about 1,100 subscribers, so we've grown so much since then. And I think my review on Forza 7 is going to be good. I know, admittedly, my Dirt 4 review didn't really go too well. I think I was a little hasty on that, and I didn't give it adequate amount of testing. So that's why I did my updated statement on it, where I just started getting really bored of Dirt 4 and then like the physics and everything. So that's why I sort of had some weird views on it at first. Didn't give it enough time to settle in. But I think my Project Cars 2 review was pretty darn good. I mean, I went in it kind of weird because I was an original backer for the original Project Cars, and I came out feeling slighted like a lot of people did. But I had to give credit where credit was due. Project Cars 2 is a reasonable improvement over Project Cars 1. And, I mean, sure, it does have its glaring flaws. AI is garbage. That is a fact that I will state. And there are other minor things that irritate me with Project Cars 2, but it is a solid title. Yeah, thanks, Tweet Chris 46. Yeah, and just think about what we're doing here. I am sitting in a garage in California, and I am driving. And people in Portugal, people in all sorts of different areas in the world are watching me almost totally instantaneously. I mean, sure, there's a couple second delay, but you are watching me drive live in my garage. Like, pretty remarkable when you think like how far technology has come. And then also there is the ability to race against people around the world. Theoretically, if I load up Project Cars 2 right now, find an online server, I'd race against people in the UK. So there's that. And yeah, Gran Turismo. In my opinion, Gran Turismo titles generally have had some better driving physics than Forza Motorsport. It'll be interesting to see how Forza 7 is. So, yeah. Have I considered doing just full races with commentary? I'm not too sure. There is that sort of place for that, but the question is that something I'm eager to do? And I'm not sure. I don't think I really have enough to talk about for that. And for me, I tend to really prefer the interaction I have with the community. So I think there are sometimes I'll do videos where it's me commentating. I don't think I have enough to really talk about for a full race. So consider like some races are half hour, some races are an hour. So I would just talk my head off, and I'm not sure if I have enough to really talk about that. I prefer just that communication, the conversationalism that a live stream can provide. But yeah, I am looking to try to have some more people involved in the community. So I'm planning on possibly doing like some interviews over Skype, maybe with people, things like that, similar to what Sean Cole has done. For example, he interviewed James of Gamer Muscle, and that was pretty awesome to see, especially live, because James and I are friends. It was funny, like, when I posted my first live stream, he just, like, he razzed me a little bit. And yeah, VR coverage, I want to do some more, and I'll see how it goes. Do some shows with Sean Cole. Yeah, I am going to be in Southern California, likely around Christmas time. So I might talk to him, see if we can do some content. And I'll talk to him, see if want to do something live together. So maybe I'll give him a call tomorrow or something. See if I can get a hold of him. But yeah, I still remember playing Gran Turismo 4 and really enjoying the force feedback through my G25. Because actually the PS2 supported the G25, the PS3 supported the G25. Unfortunately, the PS4 does not support the G25. But I'll just say, this is decent performance in the rain, I think. And it feels reasonable. Sure, it might be a little quick still, but it's nowhere near as quick as what it was in a 3-lap race. This feels a lot more reasonable. And sure, I was about 2 laps off. Have I seen Spot the Aussie? I have not watched him actually, but he actually dropped in on one of my live streams, which was pretty fun. And I talked with him a little bit. He seems like a cool guy. I don't think I have 1,500 hours in Gran Turismo 4. I might have that in Gran Turismo 5 because I was hooked on Gran Turismo 5 for the longest time. And I had my Driving Force GT I drove with. But yeah, Gran Turismo 5, I really enjoyed a lot. And it was funny though, because I really was on that hype train. Because back in that Gran Turismo 5 waiting stage, I was really active on GT Planet and their forums. And man, I actually almost got banned for trolling one time because I made this forum post that was about I said, oh, new trailer, it has Porsche, it has Damage, it has all these new cars including Lamborghini. And it was a Rick roll. It was Rick Astley. And some people just got so pissed. They were like, ban this guy! And then another guy was like, oh look, it's the Astley Martin. So it was funny. I got a warning and a demerit against my account because of that. So it's like, okay, I kind of deserve that. I understand. But yeah, sometimes I'm back on GT Planet, but it was hilarious though. GT Planet's a graveyard now. Oh, that's kind of sad because it used to be so exciting there. And it had a pretty solid community, all things considered. So, by the way, I know I've been talking a lot about me doing my Intel versus Ryzen comparison videos, and I finally got all my footage. Let's just rewind. But I finally got all of my footage for the Ryzen versus Intel comparison. Or not all the footage, all my data I needed. For the comparison, I did benchmark and testing in Assetto Corsa and in Project Cars 2. The reason I chose those two titles is because they are actually Assetto Corsa is primarily taking advantage of single threading. It doesn't really take advantage of hyper threading. And then Project Cars 2 actually takes advantage of hyper-threading. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and I'll let you know, because I'm not just going to be talking about like the gaming performance. I'm trying to do pretty in-depth stuff. I've heard that GTR 3 has only GT3 cars. I'm not sure about that. I mean, it's interesting because Race Room Racing Experience, they have the GTR 3 class, which is GT3, just not by name. But I never heard anything explicitly about GTR 3 being exclusively GT3. I just find that unlikely. $861 people online at GT Plant right now. Okay, that's pretty considerable. But yeah, I enjoyed Race Room, and if you guys haven't already, I watched it. I actually have this. I did a live review of Race Room, and it was pretty awesome because some of the developers and the team members for Sector 3, they actually dropped in. Wow, I'm just totally missing my mark there. Totally missed the mark. Yeah, the Wolf, I know I'm up late. After this race, I'm going to call it a night, though. So, we're almost halfway through this race. So, I'm using the Thrustmaster T500RS right now, the Wolf. I am actually getting the Thrustmaster TSXW, likely in a week or two, I think. Okay, you just bought the starter pack for Race Room. Nice, nice. Yeah, I think there's a lot to enjoy with Race Room. I'll say that. Sure, the pricing model is kind of iffy. It's free to play, but you have to pay for the good cars. But yeah, you can... there is that option for the $100 buy everything. But yeah, Leo One, they finally got back to me. Yes, I got in contact with them, and I think it's the head of marketing. And they're like, okay, here, send me your address, and I'll send you a wheel. And I gave them address, and they're like, yeah, you'll get it about October 8th, I think. And I'm like, oh, sweet. What wheel? He's like, the TSXW, is that okay with you? I'm like, heck yeah, I'm okay with that. So I'll finally be able to do a solid review of a Thrustmaster product. Whoop whoop. The only downside is what I have is a TH8RS shifter, which is the USB Thrustmaster shifter, and it's the TH8A that would plug directly into the wheel base. So that's slightly annoying. I don't think I'll be able to use the H shifter in Xbox One games because of that. I'm not sure though. Laguna Seca, one of my favorite tracks in Race Room. Brands Hatch, also great. Suzuka, awesome. Zandvoort, awesome. Hockenheim, Sector 3, slash Simbin, they've always done solid recreation of Hockenheim. Best pack for the price. Yeah, what Formula car doesn't include? But But yeah, still raining at lap 10 of 18, and it feels realistic now. It's very slick. TH8A on PC requires USB. So you can't plug it directly into the base to use? That's weird. Shifter should work in Xbox with it plugged into wheel. Or except the TH8 RS shifter is USB. It's not that plug. So it only plugs USB. It doesn't plug into the wheel. Okay, TGT, but wheel rim is deal breaker. Yeah, you could get the TGT and just buy a different rim. Yeah, Leo, there is a port on the T300, but it's not USB. This shifter is a USB shifter, so that's the issue. I want to say the shifter port on the wheel is a PS2 port, maybe? So yeah, it just doesn't work. The TH8RS is an outdated shifter by Thrustmaster ecosystem systems. Okay, fair enough, the wolf. But I know this is interesting. I am having fun right now. It's interesting where right now I'm not thinking about the force feedback. I'm not thinking about everything. I'm just thinking about driving, and it's going pretty well, all things considered. I'm not thinking about the lack of the force feedback. It's just like I'm zoning out, I'm having fun, which goes against a lot of what I was saying earlier in the stream. But it's like, you don't hear me complaining. It's just weird. I'm having fun right now. But yeah, it's not a simulation, but I guess once you zone out and just drive, you can have some decent fun. And I'll say I have more fun with the gamepad than the wheel. That's just fact, period. But yeah, it's just getting used to it. Are brakes OP like Forza 6? I'm inclined to say so. The brakes still seem very touchy, which is frustrating, but I'm adapting to it. I am not used to potentiometer pedals like what I'm using on this TH8, or not TH8, the T3PA that I'm using. But all in all, it's like, okay, I'm doing all right. Maybe put on some music in the background and I'd enjoy it, like just unwinding. Hello, Wicked Wonder. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just about to end this stream. After this race, I'm ending the stream. What car do I plan on using next season for sim racing system? We're going to move to the Scuderia Ferrari SF70H. So we're going from the 17 to the 70. So the 2007 F1 car. So it's going to be intense. Can I show a bit of replay? Yeah, I'll show some of the replay after this. Because you can't... Alright, another gripe I have is... you can't access the replay until after the race. Grab a beer while sim racing. Take a shot every time you blow a corner, then I would be plastered right now. Yeah, shot! Yeah, Wicked Wonder, it is currently 2:11 a.m. here. I'm going to do a midday stream later on, though. Project Cars 2 replays are my drug. I still need to experiment with the photo mode in Project Cars 2 because I really enjoy the photo mode in games, especially like Gran Turismo. Forza Motorsport's alright, but it does give it a little more of an oversaturated, almost borderline cartoony look, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm also talking a little bit with Henrique, who runs Sim Racing System, and we're talking about the idea of doing like some competitions in Project Cars 2. Not sure yet. Okay, Wicked Wonder, that's interesting. A new couch coming yesterday, so I had to be up. How's replay mode in Project Cars 2? Project Cars 2 replay mode, I think, is definitely improved. You have the ability to rewind, fast forward more. Granted, if you have the if you toggle replay during a race, you only get like a minute and a half. If you do it once the race ends, you get the full race, I think. Danny X Fuchsia, that could be overheating. You might want to check your thermals. You might want to make sure that like thermal paste is properly applied onto CPU. Make sure that yeah, you might also want to make sure, since it smells like burning plastic, make sure you took off all of the protective films off of your hardware. Like, I've done some IT stuff on the side, and some people forget to do that, believe it or not. So, take a look inside the computer, see if any components have the plastic protective film still on. It's shocking seeing how many people forget to do that. So we're about to lap some guys. So keep that in mind. That's my advice. First things to check out for. Alright, Tweet Chris, you have a great day. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was literally on the curb. I was as far left as I could go. How often do you need to change the thermal paste? Usually you don't need to change it often, but I'd say it's anytime you remove the CPU cooler, I tend to just apply new CPU paste or thermal paste just to be on the safe side. That's usually how I handle it myself. Hello, Speed Pulse. How is this handled compared to Project Cars 2? Project Cars 2 beats this. No contest. Force feedback in this tends to feel a little dead, in my opinion. The physics in Project Cars 2, I believe, beat out Forza. There's just a lot more going for it. I remember days when people had to move a jumper to get a new build to start up correctly. Yeah, I missed those. I missed those days. I didn't build my first PC until 2013. So yeah, Leo, yes, I did change rigs. So this is my GTR Simulator Cockpit. I was sent this to review, and I'm currently in the process of testing it. So right now I'm testing it with my T500RS and T3PA pedals. Yeah, Speed Pulse, what I said earlier, it's a funny joke. Forza Motorsport 7 is kind of like Paris Hilton. Pretty decent looking, but not much else going for it. Also, it is kind of uncomfortably loose. But yeah, so I'm currently working on my review for this cockpit. I don't think I'm going to be too long for this review. It has some decent elements. It has some things I'm quite concerned about too. Recommended rig in general, I say it depends on the budget. If you are basically ideal, I'd say an 80-20 rig. Those are generally the most sturdy and also the most compatible. So you can basically, in theory, if you set one up properly, you can put almost anything on an 80-20 rig. It's incredibly versatile. You can customize it, fit it exactly to what you're looking for. So that's what I'd say is the recommended rig. And soon I'm going to have my own 80-20 rig to review. I believe in a week or 2 weeks, JCL Sim Racing, they are sending me one of their to be faster cockpits. So that I'm really excited for. Yeah, the pedal base on this is very weak. I am not a fan of this pedal base. Okay, that things you can say about Forza Motorsport 7, but not your girlfriend. Who here is who here has watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? Great show, but that just reminded me of this segment that was in it. Was like things you can say about your truck, but not your girlfriend. And it's like, yep, there's a lot of junk in there in the rear. Or it's like, yep, there's room for 3 at back. But yeah, Whose Line, especially with Drew Carey, was the best. Junk in the trunk. Or things you can say about your store, but not your girlfriend. Entry in rear. That's just horrible, but funny. UK version. I never watched that version myself. Honestly, Logitech wheels never changed. Yeah, I'm planning on doing a retrospective look on Logitech Driving Force Pro. I went into a local video game store, found a Logitech Driving Force Pro in box for $25. So I was like, yeah, I'm pouncing on that. So I bought that wheel. I'm planning on doing a video talking about like how it holds up, and I think that should be fun. So we'll see how it goes. Whoop. Passing the grass. Well, watch this. He's going to hit me, I bet. No, he didn't. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised. Driving Force GT is spare wheel. That's the wheel you use with T3PA. Yeah, just imagine if I use the Driving Force Pro, but with a... if I use a Driving Force Pro, but with using Veld pedals, that would be awesome. Old Logitech Momo. Yeah, that actually was one of my first sim racing wheels, actually. I had the black Momo wheel. Yeah, with the GTA rig, that's the one I'm testing right now for about $400. I'd say, yeah, you are better off with GT Omega. That's my 2 cents. Sure, the GT Omega, it has its issues, but I mean, you can even use high-end pedals with the GT Omega. It works. But yeah, I enjoyed the Black Momo. It was a great wheel. One of the nice benefits of the Black Momo over the red was the Black Momo actually had a sequential shifter in addition to paddles. The red Momo, even though it was higher build quality, it didn't include the sequential shifter. So we're on lap 16 of 18. Yeah, Wicked Wonder, no, that wasn't what defined the Momo red. The Momo Black did have the red band, similar to the top of the most wheels nowadays, has like a strip at the top. But the red Momo was legitimately like a red base. It was a leather wrapped rim, and it had like a metal front plate. So that was the difference between it. Yeah, the first ever wheel I had was the Mad Catz MC2. And that was an interesting wheel because it had compatibility with the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. And it worked pretty well. And it had an interesting trait where it had basically, it looked like RPM lights, but it actually was like the lights would turn on when you correspond to throttle input. So I had that. Then I bought a Logitech NASCAR at Target for $50. And that, it didn't have force feedback. It had vibration feedback, and it was PC exclusive. And then it was like, okay, then at that point I started watching Inside Sim Racing and saw videos about the Logitech Momo, and it's like, oh man, I'm going with that wheel. It was about like $79 at the time. And then I saw the Logitech Driving Force GT, bought that, and then I had a situation happen where both sets of pedals failed at the same time, and I ended up opting for the warranty on it, and I on both wheels, and Best Buy allowed me to use both warranties to go for a Logitech G25. Wait, am I running out of gas? Hold on. I see a bar. Am I running low on gas? I heard a sputter, I think. Whoa! He just turned into me. Wore out 3 Momos. Sheesh. But yeah, I ended up getting the G25, used that for about 4 years, beat the heck out of that. Then I ended up going to the Thrustmaster T500RS, and now I use Fanatec Club Sport, CSL Elite, and also this, and now I'm going to be getting the Thrustmaster TSXW. Also, an open sim wheel, hopefully in the near future. Oh yeah, I am sputtering. Look, I'm almost out of fuel. Will I make the final lap? I didn't realize I was so low. Yeah, if you look under the gear indicator in the center of the screen, you see I'm low. I'm on the line. Another sputter. I don't know if it'll actually make me run out. Speed Pulse, these are drivatars. What do I think of Thrustmaster TX? I haven't done too much driving with it, but it's a decent wheel. I've tested it out at Darren Ganji's house, and it felt pretty good. It felt smoother than the T500. What do I think of the game so far? Old Hippie. It's decent. With a wheel, it's subpar. With a gamepad, it's quite a bit of fun. It is a full-featured racing game. Definitely not a sim, though. That's my thought on the matter. Sputter. If they improve the force feedback, I would actively recommend it a lot more, though. If they improve the force feedback. Sputter. I don't think you can actually run out of gas, though. I don't think so, but we tried. First place! Boom! Let's see what bonuses I get for this, though. So, 42-minute race. That's pretty intense. And you can run longer as well. But, yeah, that's... I believe you can run up to 99 laps in this. Let's quit. Will I get a reward? First place! Cheesy victory animation, but okay. I think that's a female driver on the right as well. VIP. 93,000 credits. Okay. Plus 50% credit. Plus 10,000 credit at Suzuka. Wow. That is pretty awesome. So. Oh, sorry. I forgot about the replay. Please don't kill me. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. It's 2:30 a.m. here. Sorry for forgetting. Level 4. Since I just got all that money, let's go with this. 1993 Toyota Baja truck. Yeah. Level 5. Okay. Jeep Wagoneer. Yeah, I'm just going with the cars.
Smart choice. Now you have one more car to pick from, and you boosted your car collection score at the same time.
Okay, Todd. I'll see if I can do it later. Hey, it's banging. How's it going? Okay, almost to level 6. Man, we got quite a bit of money there. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. I'm exhausted. Busy day. Actually watched my friend play hockey earlier today. That was pretty fun. And yeah, I'm just wiped out. So I'll likely do another stream later today. Maybe after I wake up. After I just conk out for a little while. But guys, thank you for watching. And I think we can definitely have a lot of fun later on. And we'll see. I might do a WRC7 stream again. Or I'll find something fun to stream for you guys. But guys, thank you very much for watching and all your support. And I will talk to you guys later.